Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Their main business is home construction. The act of constructing something. During the construction we had to take a detour. An interpretation of a text or action. They put an unsympathetic construction on his conduct. The creation of a construct. The process of combining ideas into a congruous object of thought. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. I concluded from his awkward constructions that he was a foreigner. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. She wore her hair in an amazing construction of whirls and ribbons. Drawing a figure satisfying certain conditions as part of solving a problem or proving a theorem. The assignment was to make a construction that could be used in proving the Pythagorean theorem. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Workers in the building trades. The act of constructing something. His hobby was the building of boats. A structure that has a roof and walls and stands more or less permanently in one place. There was a 3-story building on the corner. The occupants of a building. The entire building complained about the noise. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. The wrestler twisted his shoulder. A sharp strain on muscles or ligaments. Cause, a plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. Twist the dough into a braid. Twist or pull violently or suddenly, especially so as to remove something from that to which it is attached or from where it originates. Form into a spiral shape. The cord is all twisted. Turning or twisting around, in place. With a quick twist of his head he surveyed the room. A miniature whirlpool or whirlwind resulting when the current of a fluid doubles back on itself. A circular segment of a curve. An interpretation of a text or action. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. Extend in curves and turns. The path twisted through the forest. A hairdo formed by braiding or twisting the hair. The act of winding or twisting. A jerky pulling movement. Any clever maneuver. A sharp bend in a line produced when a line having a loop is pulled tight. An unforeseen development. Practice sophistry. Change the meaning of or be vague about in order to mislead or deceive. Don't twist my words. The act of rotating rapidly. It broke off after much twisting. Do the twist. Form into twists. Social dancing in which couples vigorously twist their hips and arms in time to the music, was popular in the 1960s. They liked to dance the twist. Turn in the opposite direction. Twist one's head. The creation of a construct. The process of combining ideas into a congruous object of thought. A word or phrase that particular people use in particular situations. Pardon the expression. The communication, in speech or writing, of your beliefs or opinions. Expressions of goodwill. A group of symbols that make a mathematical statement. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A sad expression. The style of expressing yourself. His manner of expression showed how much he cared. Expression without words. Tears are an expression of grief. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. Genetics, the process of expressing a gene. The act of forcing something out by squeezing or pressing. The expression of milk from her breast. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. The people in a society considered as a system organized by a characteristic pattern of relationships. Sociologists have studied the changing structure of the family. A particular complex anatomical part of a living thing and its construction and arrangement. He has good bone structure. A thing constructed, a complex entity constructed of many parts. The structure consisted of a series of arches. Give a structure to. I need to structure my days. The complex composition of knowledge as elements and their combinations. His lectures have no structure. The manner of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts. Artists must study the structure of the human body. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. He bought his brother's business. Incidental activity performed by an actor for dramatic effect. His business with the cane was hilarious. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Business concerns collectively. Government and business could not agree. Customers collectively. The activity of providing goods and services involving financial and commercial and industrial aspects. Computers are now widely used in business. An immediate objective. Gossip was the main business of the evening. A rightful concern or responsibility. It's none of your business. The volume of commercial activity. Business is good today. The activity of providing goods and services involving financial and commercial and industrial aspects. An enterprise connected with commerce. The activity of providing goods and services involving financial and commercial and industrial aspects. The act of creating something that is different from the materials that went into it. An explanation of something that is not immediately obvious. The edict was subject to many interpretations. The act of interpreting something as expressed in an artistic performance. A mental representation of the meaning or significance of something. An explanation that results from interpreting something. The report included his interpretation of the forensic evidence. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. A personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. What are your thoughts on Haiti? The content of cognition, the main thing you are thinking about. The thought never entered my mind. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. She paused for thought. The organized beliefs of a period or group or individual. 19th century thought. Endowed with the capacity to reason. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. Thinking always made him frown. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. The process of using your mind to consider something carefully. Grammar. A word or phrase or clause forming part of a larger grammatical construction. An artifact that is one of the individual parts of which a composite entity is made up, especially a part that can be separated from or attached to a system. A component or constituent element of a system. An abstract part of something. Two constituents of a musical composition are melody and harmony. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. The animal constituent of plankton. Constitutional in the structure of something, especially your physical makeup. Grammar. A word or phrase or clause forming part of a larger grammatical construction. A member of a constituency. A citizen who is represented in a government by officials for whom he or she votes. Needs continued support by constituents to be re-elected. A man-made object taken as a whole. A man-made object taken as a whole. Mathematics, calculation by mathematical methods. The problems at the end of the chapter demonstrated the mathematical processes involved in the derivation. Activity by a military or naval force, as a maneuver or campaign. It was a joint operation of the Navy and Air Force. A process or series of acts especially of a practical or mechanical nature involved in a particular form of work. The operations in building a house. Mathematics, calculation by mathematical methods. They were learning the basic operations of arithmetic. A medical procedure involving an incision with instruments, performed to repair damage or arrest disease in a living body. They will schedule the operation as soon as an operating room is available. Process or manner of functioning or operating. The power of its engine determines its operation. Psychology. The performance of some composite cognitive activity. An operation that affects mental contents. The cognitive operation of remembering. A business, especially one run on a large scale. A large-scale farming operation. A planned activity involving many people performing various actions. They organized a rescue operation. Computer science, data processing in which the result is completely specified by a rule, especially the processing that results from a single instruction. It can perform millions of operations per second. The activity of operating something, a machine or business, etc. Her smooth operation of the vehicle gave us a surprisingly comfortable ride. The state of being in effect or being operative. That rule is no longer in operation. Mathematics, calculation by mathematical methods. Construction of inferior buildings for a quick profit. The act of making equal or uniform. Changing the ground level to a smooth horizontal or gently sloping surface. Complete destruction of a building. The construction of roads. Construction by a group of neighbors. Evaluation of performance by assigning a grade or score. What he disliked about teaching was all the grading he had to do. Changing the ground level to a smooth horizontal or gently sloping surface. The act of arranging in a graduated series. The construction of ships.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.